and we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly away, away, away.
Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. So it's Friday night. Well, it's Saturday, 1 a.m. now, so I need to record this. I was live streaming a game and I lost track of time. But anyway, Gotham final season episode 5. Watched it earlier today. Really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was a good episode. Not quite as intense as the last one, but still pretty good. Some twists there, some reveals. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty hectic, and I like how they're doing, like, they're introducing so many different aspects of Gotham, different storylines, different characters happening at the same time, and somehow they're managing to keep it so that we understand everything. And it's just awesome because sometimes some shows like put too much in and it's a problem, but in this one it's not a problem. They put a lot of things in and they make it work, and I just like how it all comes together. So it's just really good. Anyway, about the episode, as I said, I enjoyed it. If I was to rate it, 8 out of 10 again. I mean, I'm really enjoying these so far. The best one was probably episode 3, possibly. They've all been good, but episode 3, I think, really, like, I mean, the explosion at the end as well was crazy. Anyway, about this episode, episode 5, first you get Jim and Harvey going to see the RPG seller to find out who it was. And, well, they're about to die because the RPG seller has some mates. But some army guys come down and save Jim. And it was a guy called Eduardo. Now, this guy becomes Bane. But here's the thing. I didn't know this in the episode. I mean, I knew this. I saw his face in the trailer, okay? I knew Bane was coming. I just did not expect it, and I completely forgot which actor was playing Bane. So for the whole episode, I did not realize this guy was going to be Bane until I looked it up after the episode, because I was like, who's this Eduardo guy? Like, I was like, where did he come from? Who is he? And it turns out he's playing Bane. It would have been better if it was a surprise though that he was playing Bane. Might have worked better, but still, I didn't know that in this episode, so the shock to me at the end was a bit more shocking, obviously, because I didn't know he was going to be a bad guy. But yeah, at first he was just an army guy who used to be in the army with Jim Gordon. They did reference some things, and when I first saw him, I thought, am I meant to know him? Because the way they revealed him, it felt like I was meant to know him. And I think that was because he becomes Bane. That's why. But still, it just felt like he was there in a previous season, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't. But yeah, it seemed like, at the time, it seemed like they sent the army in to help Jim Gordon, which was awesome at the time, until you get the big reveal at the end. But it was still pretty good. And yeah, that was an interesting opening scene. So throughout this episode, the army and GC, not the whole army obviously, but some soldiers, a group of soldiers, are helping the GCPD clear up criminals. There are different motivations some way, because Jim wants to help people as well, whereas the army guys are there to just try and take down these criminals, pretty much. So that's the interesting two different aspects there, but they're still mates throughout the episode until the very end. And then Penguin finds out about Nigma blowing up, because it was Nigma obviously who blew up, but it turns out that he was being mind controlled. So yeah, that makes sense, to be fair, because at first I thought, well, he's got an alter ego. He's got the Riddler and he's his normal self. I thought it was just alter ego taking over. That's what I assumed it was. But it turns out that there was this whole mind control thing from someone else controlling him to fire an RPG at Haven. And yeah, he was being tortured. Edward was being tortured, and he eventually got a vision while being tortured, while being electrocuted. He got a vision of Penguin saying he's going to fix him. So he goes and sees Penguin, and Penguin says, well, it wasn't me that made you like this. It's not me that's controlling you. He said it was Hugo Strange, because at the end of season 4, Edward was hurt. Penguin sent Hugo Strange to fix him, and Hugo Strange did something to Edward. So Edward finds Barbara and asks her for info to find where Hugo Strange is. And he finds Hugo Strange, and it turns out that it's true. Hugo Strange put a chip in his brain to help control him. But it's not Hugo Strange controlling him, it's someone else that Hugo works for. So that was pretty crazy to find out, because at the end of the last episode I thought it's just his alter ego. There's no like other external mind control. It was just his alter ego doing what it wanted to do, but it was other people controlling him. So that was a really cool aspect of it. I really liked that. And there's another aspect as well about Bruce talking to Selena about how she'll never change and stuff. And she was talking about how she was in the alleyway when Bruce's parents died and she did nothing. So yeah, that was quite an interesting conversation. Obviously, they're not the same. Batman is more of a hero, and she can be sometimes, but she's more of a villain, more of a thief than anything. So it's true. In most cases of Batman storylines, they're just not the same. They're just different. They're just different types of people. But Bruce just doesn't seem to accept that, and he has a weakness for Catwoman, for Selena. And not just in Gotham either, like in a lot of different storylines, he has a weakness for her. So it was interesting to see that explored a little bit in that conversation. Yeah, and I've gone too far down the line, but after Enigma confronts Penguin, while it's happening, GCPD and the army come in. Edward's gone at this point. He's skedaddled. But Penguin's men get shot up. Penguin goes to GCPD, gets interrogated. Yeah, sorry about that. I just keep looking at my notes because I tend to write down all the main bits of the episode, and I just lost track because I was meant to like talk about it in order of stuff happening, and instead I got carried away, talked about one thing way too much, and now I've gone back. Anyway, there was a cool scene, a cool referencing scene. Not reference, but it's a Batman type scene where Bruce is talking to Harvey. Obviously Harvey's in charge at the moment while Jim's gone with the army guys, with Eduardo. Yeah, Eduardo's the main army guy with the rest. I don't know why I say army guys. Eduardo and his soldiers, okay, and Jim are going on missions obviously, and Harvey's in charge of the GCPD for now, and Bruce has gone to see Harvey instead of Jim, and they have a conversation, and then Bruce just disappears. Like Harvey just looks up and he's gone, asking him a question and he's gone. And I like that because that is Batman. Like if you have a conversation with Batman, you have a conversation, as soon as Batman knows, Batman hears what he needs to hear, he's gone. So you turn around and you ask a question and you turn around and he's gone. It's just typical Batman. I love it. I love how they do that in the Dark Knight trilogy, in the DCEU, in the Arkham games. I love how they do that with Jim Gordon mainly, but now you see it with a different character as well. I think that's a really cool reference. Even though he's not Batman yet, he's still Bruce Wayne. But I love how he just disappears like that. It is so cool. It's so cool. But yeah, anyway, back to Enigma. Hugo knocks him out. Doesn't knock him out. He sprays something at him, and he wants to mess with his brain again until Jim Gordon and Eduardo and the rest come in and interrupt. This is where I think like they're gonna arrest Hugo Strange, get Enigma back to normal maybe. I don't know. At least like detain him, and that'll be it. That's what happens. Like I thought maybe there'll be a twist at the end, and there was a twist, but not twist I expected, because pretty much they have a conversation, Hugo Strange, GTC, and they find out, or Jim finds out that it was Eduardo the whole time. It was Eduardo, his army friend, who he saved his life multiple times. His army friend is the one who is controlling Edward Nygma. Obviously, it's not just Eduardo. He's following orders from Teresa Walker. Now, I don't know about Teresa Walker. Apparently, she's not a major DC character, so someone completely new and fresh, I think. And apparently, she will be the main antagonist for Jim Gordon. So that will be interesting. But yeah, because I didn't know this guy Eduardo would be Bane. I didn't know this. So this whole time I was like, oh, he's a good guy, just here to help. I did not suspect anything because of my stupidity of forgetting stuff. And then he turned up. I was like, wow, okay, you've shocked me here with this turn. But then I looked it up. I looked up his name, Eduardo Gotham, and I found out that this is the guy who becomes Bane. I saw the trailer and I loved the trailer, and I forgot that I saw Bane as well, and I forgot it was him. But yeah, there we go. But Teresa Walker is the one who sent the orders, and her and Eduardo are mind controlling Edward Nygma. Now, Jim did ask, like even I would ask, why would they want to murder innocent people? Why? I mean, Bane is Bane, to be fair, but why does this Teresa Walker want to do that? And they never answered it. He never answered it. But pretty much, I'm pretty sure he tells Jim to shoot Edward dead. Edward's still at this point. He's switched off. And pretty much if Jim doesn't shoot him, then Eduardo shoots Jim. But instead, he doesn't. He puts his gun down Jim. And then, obviously, like, Eduardo's someone, like, Jim saved Eduardo's life in the army. So it's interesting how this time Eduardo's turned on him. Saved him one too many times. I think that's what he said, something along the lines of that during the episode, during this moment in the scene. But yeah, he distracted him and he pushed Eduardo out of the way, then escaped. And then he switched Edward Nygma back on, and he's fully mind controlled again. And he says, "You know Jim Gordon, you know Gotham, find him, kill him." And there we go. Edward Nygma, who's mind controlled, is going after Jim Gordon. So that will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see that in episode 6, and I cannot wait to see Bane. I want to finally see him, but it's really shaping up. There's one more thing to mention, by the way, but the point is, you get Eduardo here now. You already have all these villains already going on. You have Selena obviously turning into more of a bad person. You get all these different villains coming along. It's Batman's time to shine and rise, because Gotham needs it. Gotham needs this hero. And yeah, obviously at the end, you get Joker and Harley. You get an actual good conversation. It's like a minute long or something, but it's good to see more of Joker and Harley together, like a proper conversation between them. I think that was good. And then at the end, I don't know what that was. But Joker came out and his people were preparing 2 people. There were 2 people bandaged up, probably robots or clones or something. I have no idea, but they unwrapped these people. You don't see their faces, so you don't know who they are. But Joker's like, "What do we do with you?" basically. I'm pretty sure that's what he says. But I'm so confused, like, who are they? Like, I'm curious, like who are these 2 people that I see here? I mean, I don't see their faces, so I don't know, but who are these people? I was just so confused. I need to look up some theories, because I don't know. I mean, we'll find out soon enough, but who are they? Who are they? But yeah, who are those 2 people at the end? But anyway, yeah, as I said, Joker and Harley are around, Riddler going around trying to kill Jim Gordon. Eduardo's another problem now. Penguin's still a problem, to be fair. Obviously Selena turning as well. I've mentioned all these things, but I'm just saying, like, all these factors all coming in. I'm sure I missed some stuff as well. The city needs a hero, and I'm sure, like, we won't see Batman till like the finale probably, but yeah, the city needs him. I just can't wait to see how this all pans out. Because I assume Bruce will take a lot of these people out, or at least most of them anyway. I assume some get away, since it's a prequel to Batman, so that would be the case. But I can't wait to see, like, depending on who Bruce catches, I can't wait to see, like, how he catches these people, or maybe Jim catches some as well. But I just want to see, like, the climax, but not yet. I'm looking forward to next week now, episode 6. Bring it on. This was your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.